Good evening to everybody. Myself Raju Kademani, Principal of Hanchinmani PU College. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ರಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ PR ಹಂಚಿನ್ಮನಿ ಸರ್ ಈ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಫೌಂಡರ್. 1994ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಚಿನ್ಮನಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ನ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ ನಂತರ 2011ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲೇಜನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದರು. 2021ರಲ್ಲಿ CBSE ಸ್ಕೂಲು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಎರಡೂ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ನಾವು PU1 ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಎಂಟ್ರನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ನ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸುಮಾರು 3500ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಗದಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮನ್ನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ನ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಪಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ. ಆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು 24 ತಾಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ 10 ಗಂಟೆ ಒಳಗೆ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡುವಂಗೆ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಂಚಿನ್ಮನಿ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತೊಂದು ಪೇಪರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಿ. ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಮೊದಲು ಮಧುಶ್ರೀ ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಈ ವೇದಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ತಗೋರಿ. ಮುಂದೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋರಿ. ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ 10th ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವಂಗೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುವಂಗೆ ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಂಗೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೇಳಿ, ನೀವು ಸಹ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಧುಶ್ರೀ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
Myself, Madhushri Deshpande. I'm a faculty of Mathematics Department of VPH. So here I'm solving the first 12 questions. So let me start with the first question. So here you can see we have to find the LCM and HCF. Lasa mattu masa kelara. So first I will write the 12. 12 can be written as all of you know that 2 into 2 into 3. And 21 we can write it as 3 into 7. And 15 we can write it as 3 into 5. So to calculate LCM, so you know that we are writing 2 into 2 into 3. Here 3 is common, so let me take 7 into 5. That answer will be 420. Then if we take HCF, so if I take the HCF, you know that it is highest common factor. So here common factor is 3. So which option you are taking here? That is D option. So Kannada medium doru nodkodri illena LCM ada idu HCF, that is masa a mattidu lasa a mattu masa. So first kelidavaru masa ada amel lasa ada. So 3 420 you are getting here. So let me take the next question. So here you have to find out again the LCM of P and Q. So what is P? They have given 18a square b raised to 4, and then Q it is 20a cube b square. So to calculate LCM, you know that we have to take 18 factors. So 18 factors we can write it as 6 into or 3 into 6. Here it is 20 is there. So 20 means we are getting the multiples. So let me take directly, we will write here. So here you are getting it is 180. Here the highest is a cube and here it is b raised to 4. So which option? It is B option, 180 a cube b raised to 4. Kannada medium dorgu follow agida. Okay, so next example. So here let me take the polynomial, that is 2x square minus 9x minus 5 equal to 0. You are comparing this with the standard equation, that is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So here let me write the sum of the roots. You know that sum of the roots is alpha plus beta. So let me alpha plus beta, sum of the roots is given by minus b by a. So here minus b by a means it is 9 by 2. So minus of minus, it becomes plus. Then product of the roots, that is alpha into beta, that is c by a. So c is minus 5 by 2. So we have to calculate alpha square plus beta square. All of you know a square plus b square formula. So a square plus b square is given by a plus b whole square minus 2ab. So alpha into beta. So here alpha plus beta is 9 by 2 whole square, that is 81 by 4 minus 2 into alpha into beta is minus 5 by 2. So if you simplify here, you are getting 81 by 4 plus 5, that is 101 by 4. So which option it is? B. So Kannada medium daru alpha plus beta sum of the roots adada. So sum of the roots formula anta nimge ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತದ minus b by a. So according to that, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 101 by 4. So next example. So here they have given the quadratic equation. This is a general quadratic equation, x square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So here what they have given, the roots are equal. Equal ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತದ b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. So b square equal to 4ac. So this is given. So I'm sorry. So if I take b square equal to 4ac, LH and both negative. ಸೊ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಎರಡು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ರು ಇದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಎರಡು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ರು ಇದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ವೆನ್ ಎ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಸೈನ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂದವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಎರಡು ಸೇಮ್ ಒಂದೇ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಒಂದೇ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಬೈ ಟ್ರಯಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎರರ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. So here you are substituting all the values. So ಒಂದೊಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಒಳಗ x equal to 2, y equal to 1 ಎರಡೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಬೋತ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈಡ್, ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟಿಕ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ one options. So you are getting the third option, that is x equal to 1, y equal to 2. So that you can check by trial and error method. So let me take the next question. Okay, here again they have given the quadratic equation 5x square minus kx plus 1 equal to 0. So here what they have asked, the roots are real and distinct. Vastava mattu vibhinna ant helare. So real and distinct means you know that b square minus 4ac should be greater than 0. So here what is b square? K square minus 4ac means it is 4 into 5 into 1, that is 20, greater than 0. So here let me take k square is greater than 20. So again you number line, if you use the number line, very easily you will get the answer. So if I take k square greater than 20, k square equal to 20 ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. 20 ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ you have to substitute root 20 minus root 20 and plus root 20, that is minus 2 root 5 here plus 2 root 5. So if I substitute the values between these two, I am getting k square less than 20, but I want k square greater than 20. Greater than 20 means we have to substitute these values and these values. Ille nadwin values haki nodri, minus 2 root 5 kinta kadmi value plus 2 root 5 kinta jasti value haki nodidri andra, so you can get the answer. So here according to that, the option C is the answer. Okay, let me take the next question. That is 9x square minus 6x minus 4 equal to 0. Here we have to find out this equation have which type of roots. For that again let me take b square minus 4ac. So what is b square here? 81 minus 4 into a into c. A is 9. If I put minus 4 here, minus 4 into 9, not necessary to find out the product, the sum will be positive. So that is greater than 0. Greater than 0 means you know that it has real and distinct roots. That is option D. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂಲಗಳು ವಾಸ್ತವ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಭಿನ್ನ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತದ, ಇದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, b square minus 4ac greater than 0. So D option it is. So let me take the next question. So here we have to find out this ratio. ಈ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ S3n, S2n minus Sn. So S3n is what? I have written the formula. All of you know Sn formula of an AP. So Sn formula is 3n by 2 into 2a plus 3n minus 1 into d. So here S2n formula. So I have written Sn formula. So here what I have done is I have taken common. So here you can see n by 2 is common. So if you simplify according to that, I will multiply 2 here. According to that, if you multiply 4a minus 2a, it is 2a you're getting. Here also if you simplify this, you're getting 3n minus 1 into d. So these two terms will cancel. N by 2 is cancelled. So we are getting the answer 3. So which option is correct here? Option C. So C option correct ಆಗ್ತದ. So ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂದವರಂತೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ AP ಅಂದ್ರ ಶ್ರೇಣಿ, ಸಮಾಂತರ ಶ್ರೇಣಿ, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಗೊತ್ತದ, ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಇದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. So you will get the answer. So let me take the next question. So here see what they have given. Again it is on AP only. So they have given SP and SQ. We have to find out sum of P plus Q. So if I find out SP equal to Q, SP ನಿಮಗೆ formula ಗೊತ್ತದ. So according to that I am getting this equation. So then if I take the second one, that is SQ equal to P. So if I take SQ equal to P here, so I am getting this one. If I take this, so if I solve these two equations, or if I solve these two equations, I am getting this one. So sum of P plus Q is equal to minus 2 you are getting. So that value I have substituted here. So these two terms cancelled and you are getting minus of P plus Q. So minus of P plus Q means it is option D. So option D you can take. Now let me take the next question. So here already they have told you to find out length of OC. So AB kottara, CD kottara, OB is also given. We have to find out OC. For that, by seeing the figure, you came to know that here vertically opposite angles and these are alternate angles. ಶೃಂಗಾಭಿಮುಖ ಕೋನಗಳು ಪರ್ಯಾಯ ಕೋನಗಳು ಅವ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ಟುಲೇಟ್ ದಿಂದ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಆಗ್ತವ. ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ AB by CD is equal to OB by OC. So if you solve this, you will get OC equal to 6 by 5. So option D is the right answer. Okay, let me take the next question then. So here, ಇದನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಾರ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, angle L equal to angle P, angle N equal to angle R. So angle N equal to angle R. So if two angles are equal, already I have told you, by AA we can say that they are similar but not congruent because of this. Because here sides are not equal, they are proportional. So here which option is correct? Similar but not congruent. So let me take the next question. So here already the triangles are drawn. What is given? Midpoints of the sides of a triangle form 4 triangles. So if I join the midpoints here, BC midpoint, AC midpoint and AB midpoint, if I join them, I'm getting 4 triangles here. These 4 triangles are similar to the original triangle. So this triangle ಏನದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತದ, 2 angles are equal. From that we can prove that. So it is option A is the correct one. Now here I'm handing over the remaining 12 question to my colleague Mr. Anil Kadam. Sir, please welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now I'll continue with the mathematics. That is the next question. Just see what are the things we are having now. This already you studied here. Okay. Now see. ಕನ್ನಡದವರು ನೋಡ್ರಿ, A 1.49, B ಎಷ್ಟು 2 3, C ಎಷ್ಟು 6 5. 6 5. ನಮಗೇನ್ ಬೇಕು ಪೈಲೆ? ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರ, ಮೀಡಿಯನ್ ಅಂದ್ರ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಲೈನ್ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಮಿಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಇದು ಎಂ ಐತಲ್ಲ, ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಬಿ ನಡಕಿನ ಮಿಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸರ್ ಮಿಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಸರ್? ಇದ ಸರ್ ಎ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ, ಬಿ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ. ಎ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ ಸರ್ 4 9. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ದ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಆರ್ 4 9, ಬಿ ಆರ್ 2 3. Y coordinate is 9 plus 3 12 by 2. Sir, we got the answer as 3, 6. Now 6 5 and is how much? 3 6. Now our aim is what? We want the length of the median, that is CM. CM can be found out by distance formula, square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Sir, what is the answer? You can do it here now. Now what is there? C2 m 6 minus 3 3 square plus 6 minus 5 1 square, that is 3 square is how much? 9. 9 plus 1 is how much? Root 10. Can you tell me where it is? Sir, it is root 10 units. Okay, we'll go for the next question. So the next question is very interesting and very knowledgeable question. What is he has given? Don't try to find out the circumference by directly. First draw the diagram. Sir, 0 0 origin. A comma 0, it is a point lies on the x-axis. 0 comma b, it a point lies on the y-axis. And we know that angle between the x-axis and y-axis is 90 degree. Then this triangle is a right angle triangle. In a right angle triangle, the circumcenter is the midpoint of the hypotenuse. This knowledge you got it from 9th standard. What are the properties of a right angle triangle? Therefore, what is the midpoint of here? A circumcenter. Sir, circumcenter is 0 plus a divided by 2, comma b plus 0 divided by 2. The answer we got is a by 2, comma b by 2. See, if you are good in 9th standard, then 10th standard is very easy. If you know 9th and 10th, then PUC 1 will be very easy. Next question. So what is there? Secant A plus tan A is equal to m. Secant A minus tan A is equal to n. Many of the students, ಬಾಳ ಮಂದಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ? ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಎ ಮೈನಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1 ಹಾಕೋದು ತಿಳಿಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು. ಸರ್, ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇದೇ ಸರ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಇದು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂತ. ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹಿಂಗ ಬರ್ತಾವ. ನಿಮ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲದ್ದು ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ದಾಗ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು ಬರ್ತಾವ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಎ ಮೈನಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1. ಇದೆಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಸರ್? ನಮ್ 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕಲ್ತೇವೆ ಸರ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಂಗಾರ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಎ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಎ ಮೈನಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಎ ಎರಡು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬಂತ್ರಿ ಸರ್? ನಮಗ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಎ ಮೈನಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಎ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂತ್ರಿ ಸರ್? 1. ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ m ಇಂಟು n ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ವಾಟ್? It is how much? 1. Why? Second square a minus tan square a ಬಂತ್ರಿ ಸರ್. Second square a tan square a is equal to ಎಷ್ಟ್ರಿ? 1 ಸರ್. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಐತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ದಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ದಾಗ ಐತಿ. ಇದೊಂದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಸಂಬಂಧ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಆದ್ರ ಬಾಳ್ ಮಂದಿ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥೀಟಾ, ಸೇಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸರ್. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಕೇಳ್ಯಾರ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂಟು ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ 2 ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಆಕೈತಿ? ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾನು? ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ 2 ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್. ನಮ್ CT JE ಒಳಗೆ ಹಿಂಗ ಬರ್ತಾವ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಕೈತಿ ಒಂದ್ ಲೆಸನ್, ಮಿಡಲ್ ಲೆಸನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಲೆಸನ್ಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಕೈತಿ. ಇದೇನ್ರಿ ಸರ್? ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ 2 ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ಕಲಿಸಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಮೈನಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1. ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್? ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ ಬಿಟ್ಟಾರ ಸರ್? ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ ಸರ್. ಇದೇನಾತ್ರಿ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆತ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಮೈನಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1 ಬೈ ಎಕ್ಸ್. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಎರಡು ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬಂದು ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ ಸರ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಮೈನಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1 ಅಪಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್. ಇವು ಎರಡೂ ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುಣ ಈಗ? ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ 2 ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಇವ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಸರ್? ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂಥರ ಇದನ್ನ ಎ ಬಿ ಅಂತ ತಗೋರಿ. ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಎ ಮೈನಸ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ವೈ. ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ್ರಿ, ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ 1 and 2 ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಏನಾಕೈತ್ರಿ? ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಕೈತಿ. ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಸೆಕ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್. ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಎಷ್ಟ್ರಿ ಸರ್? 2 ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾತ್ರಿ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮೈನಸ್ 1 ಬೈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬಂತ್ರಿ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮೈನಸ್ 1 ಅಪಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್. sin a plus sin square a is equal to 1 ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಾರೆ ಅವರು. The sin a plus sin square a is equal to 1 is given. Now what you want now? Cos square a plus cos raised to 4a. ನೀವು ಅನ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್, ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ದಾಗ ಇಲ್ರಿ, ನಾ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳೇನಿ ನಿಮಗ. 4 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ ಸರ್. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಏನಾತ್ರಿ? sin a is equal to 1 minus sin square a. 1 minus sin square a ಅಂದ್ರೆ cos square a. ಆಯ್ತ್ರಿ? ಆದ್ರಿ cos square a ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ರಿ ಸರ್, ನನಗ cos raised to 4a ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಬೋತ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್, ಎರಡು ಕಡೆಗೆ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. sin square a is equal to ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇವಿ? cos square ನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ತರ್ತೀವಿ. 1 is equal to cos raised to 4a plus cos square a. ನಿಮ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ದಾಗ ಐತಿ, ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಂಥವ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರ್ತಾವ? 4 ಬರ್ತಾವ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿ ಬಂತ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ. ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಏನಿದಾವ್ರಿ ಇವ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್, ಕೋನಗಳು. ಅವು ಹೆಂಗದಾವ್ರಿ? ಸಮಾಂತರ ಶ್ರೇಣಿ ಅಂದ್ರ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಷನ್. ಅಂದ್ರ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಡಿ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟು ಡಿ, ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಡಿ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟು ಡಿ. ಹಂಗಾರ ನೋಡೋಣ್ರಿ, ಆಂಗಲ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಿ ಎಷ್ಟ್ರಿ? 180. ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಈಸ್ 180. ಹಂಗಾರ ಮೂರು ಆಂಗಲ್ ಎ ಪಿ ಒಳಗದಾರ್ರಿ. ಒಂದ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಡಿ, ಒಂದ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟು ಡಿ. ಹಂಗಾರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ್ರಿ? ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 180 ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಎ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಐತಿ ನಮಗ ಏನ್ರಿ ಸರ? ಇಫ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಪಿ, ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ವಾಟ್? ಆಂಗಲ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2. ಇವೆರಡು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಹಾಕಿದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತೈತ್ರಿ ಸರ್? ಇದನ್ನ ಮೂರು ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸರ್, ಮೂರು ಆಂಗಲ್ 30, 60, 90 ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಅದಾವಿಲ್ಲೋ ಎ ಪಿ? ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. 30 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 30 60, 60 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 30 90. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಪಿ. ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಿ ಕೇಳ್ಯಾರ ಸರ್, ಸೈನ್ ಬಿ. ಹಂಗಾರ ಸೈನ್ ಬಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟ್ರಿ? ಸೈನ್ 60. ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕಲ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು. ಸೈನ್ 0, ಸೈನ್ 45, ಸೈನ್ 60, ಸೈನ್ 90. ದೆನ್ ಸೈನ್ 60 ಇಸ್ ಮುಚ್ಚ √3/2. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಐತಿ. ಇದೇನ್ರಿ? ಹೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಹೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡದವರು ಕಲ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು. ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಏನು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್, ಅದರ ಉಪಯೋಗಗಳು, ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಯ ಉಪಯೋಗಗಳು ಏನ್ರಿ? ಹೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ರ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಓದ್ರಿ. The shadow of the tower when the angle of elevation of the sun is 45 degree, it is found to be 15 meters longer than when it is 60. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಈ ಲೆಸನ್ ಒಳಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ವರ್ಷ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರ. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ತೆಗ್ದೇವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ತೆಗ್ದೇವಿ? ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗುವಂಗೆ ತೆಗ್ದೇವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೇಮ್ ನಿಮ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ದಾಗಿಂದ ಸಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಬಾಯ್ಪಾಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಸಮ್ಸ್ ಬಾಯ್ಪಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಬರೀ ಕಲೀರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ 15 ಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು 15, ಇದೆಷ್ಟ್ರಿ? 15 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ವಾಯ್. ಇದೇನ್ರಿ? 15 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ವಾಯ್. ಇದೇನಾದ್ ಸರ? ನಮ್ಗ ಎರಡು ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾವ್ರಿ, ಒಂದು 45, ಒಂದು 60. tan 60 is equal to ಏನಾಕೈತ್ರಿ? ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸೆಂಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸೆಂಟ್, ಅಭಿಮುಖ ಬಾಹು ಪಾರ್ಶ್ವ ಬಾಹು. tan 45 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಕೈತ್ರಿ? x ಅಪಾನ್ 15 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ವಾಯ್. ಇವೆರಡೂ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು? ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹಾಕ್ತೇವೆ ಸರ್. tan 60 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟ್ರಿ ಸರ? √3. tan 45 1. ಹಂಗಾರ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತ್ರಿ? √3 is equal to x upon y. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 1 is equal to x upon 15 plus 1. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸರ್ ಇವ? ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ 2 ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್. ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ 2 ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ ಸರ್? ನಾವು ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಸರ್. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಯಾವ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಪಾ? ನೀವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕಲ್ತು ಬಿಟ್ರಿ. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ? ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಐತಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಐತಿ, ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ. 4 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಐತಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಹಾಕಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ? ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಇವೆರಡು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ? x is equal to 35.49. ಯಾವ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ? ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ 2 ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್. ಓಕೆ ನೋಡಮ್ಮ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮತ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಸೀದಾ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕ್ರಿ? ಇದು ನಿಮ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ ಇಂಥವ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೇವಿ? ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಹುಟ್ಟಿಸೇವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟೇವಿ. ನಿಮ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ಗೂ ಇದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗೈತಿ. ಏನೇನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ? ಇದು 2 stations due south of leaning tower which leans toward the north are at the distance of A and B from its foot. From its ಎರಡು ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅದಾವ ಸರ್. ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಲೀನಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. ಇಫ್ x and y are the angles of elevation of the top of this towers. ನೋಡ್ರಿ x and y ಏನ್ರಿ? ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ? ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ ಹಿಂಗಿತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್. ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ನಂದ್ರ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್. ನಾ ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ರ ತಳಗ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ನಂದ್ರ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಇದು ವಾಯ್, ಮ್ಯಾಗಿನ ತಗೊಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ನೋಡ್ರಿ then tower from D station when the inclination of theta to the horizon given by cot theta. ನಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು ಸರ್? ನಮಗೀಗ cot theta ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಇದು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಏನೇನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ ಸರ್? ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೆಸರು ಕೊಟ್ರಿ. ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ, ಇದು ಪಿ, ಇದು ಕ್ಯೂ. ನಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕ್ರಿ? ಕಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಥೀಟಾ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಅದಾವ ನಮ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ? 3 ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಅದಾವ್ರಿ. ಒನ್ ಇದ್ದು ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಯ್ ಹಾಕ್ರಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ರಿ, ದೆನ್ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಹಾಕ್ರಿ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬಂತ್ರಿ? ಎಚ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಝೆಡ್. ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬಂತ್ರಿ? ಎಚ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಝೆಡ್. tan y ಹಾಕಿದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಏನ್ ಬಂತ್ರಿ h upon b plus z. ಇವು ಮೂರು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೇನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಸರ cot theta is equal to b cot x minus a cot y divided by b minus a. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ಐತಿ, ನನಗೂ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಕೈತಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ನೀವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. ಯಾರು 80 ತಗೊಳಕ್ ನೀವು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಕುಂತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಒಂದು 4 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಈ ತರ ನೀವು ಹೊಸ ಬರ್ತಾವು, ಅವನ್ನ ನೀವು ರೆಡಿ ಇರಬೇಕ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ದಾಗ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ನೋಡಮ್ಮ, ಬಹಳ ಈಸಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಐತಿ. ಏನ್ ಸರ, ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ರಿ, ಇದು 90 ಇದು 60, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ sin 30 ಹಾಕ್ರಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೇನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತೈತಿ AQ ಸಿಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಇದು sin 60 ಹಾಕ್ರಿ, ನಿಮಗ್ ಸಿಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೋಡಮ್ಮ, 2 ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರಿ, 2 ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರಿ, ಏರಿಯಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ, ಅವ್ನ 2 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತೈತಿ? ಒಂದೇದು ಏರಿಯಾ pi into 24 square, pi into 7 square, ಇವೆರಡು ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರ್ತೀರಿ r is equal to 5. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗ 2 ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಿಲಿಂಡರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ದ hemisphere. Next comes same thing, volume of the bricks, length into breadth into height. Okay, length into breadth into height ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರ 1/8 ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಂತ, ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಏನ್ ಉಳಿತ 7/8 ಉಳಿತ. ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಹಾಕ್ರಿ, ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ 11,200. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ನಮ್ದು ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮುಗಿತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಅರುಣ್ ಸರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ, ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಯು ದ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್.
Yes, thank you, Kadam sir. So I'm going to carry on with the physics solving session from here onwards. So before I do that, I want to highlight few things. That is, one is all of the students can check out that we are having a English medium state question paper version A here question number, version B question number, and Kannada medium question paper question number. So you can go through it, and meanwhile, when you don't understand, take a screenshot of the question paper. Later you can solve and go through it. So along with that, some students are asking question regarding when will be the CBSE question paper discussion session. So that session, what we are going to do will be followed by this session. That session would probably start at 8:15. As soon as this completes, the new session will start for CBSE solving. So let's continue with my part. So let's start with the question solving. So here the question says, in a concave reflector of a torch, the bulb is placed. So the bulb has to be placed at the focus, so that the reason is very simple, so that the light which it is going to emit would be thrown outwards. Along with that, I can project the rays which are falling on the mirror in such a way that it is going to go parallel after it reflects. Due to this, what happens, I am going to get a powerful beam of light, and which can travel for a longer distance also. So that's the simple reason why we are having the bulb to be placed at a concave reflector's focus. So let me take up the next question now. So next question is asking the refractive index of a substance, and the provided quantities are, that is, in the substance the speed of light is this value. We'll treat it as V, and this is the value of speed of light in air. We'll treat it as C. So I'm going to take, according to the formula what we know, I'm going to take that refractive index. We have a standard formula, that is, refractive index is speed of light in a vacuum divided by speed of light in medium. So here easily you can see 10 to the power 8 gets cancelled. So I have to write 3 divided by 1.5. 1.5 I can write it as 5/4. Simplification gives you answer as 2.4. So the right answer is option A. So let's take up the next question. So next question, there is Kannada medium question here, and I'm going to switch to the next one so that I can get English version of that. I'm going to solve it. Later I'm going to give the answer for it. A man sits on an optician chair. So let me try to draw optician chair. So let's say that this is a chair on which a man is sitting. Forgive me for the diagram, I'm too bad at it. So let's try to draw the mirror. So this is the mirror, and he is sitting at a distance of how much? Just hardly a distance of 2 meters away, and it's being said that behind him at 50 centimeters. So I'll conclude that this 50 centimeter is nothing but 0.5 meter. So behind him there is a chart that is at a distance of 0.5 meters. And they are asking how far from his eye does the chart appear to be. That means he has to look at the image of the chart. So let me try to draw. The image of the chart is here. So this is the image of the chart. Now you can see image is here, that is object is here, mirror is here. So obviously the distance of the image should be equal to the distance of the object. So the distance here would be 2.5. Since they are asking from his eye, how much would be the distance to the image? So the distance easily you can calculate. 2 plus 2.5 will give you answer as 4.5. Okay, let's go to the next question. So the next question reads out to be an object of size 2.5 centimeters is placed, okay, purpose of a concave mirror as I've read it. And they are saying the distance of the object from the pole of the mirror equals to the radius of curvature of it. So obviously I can say that if it is equal to radius of curvature, that is u is equal to, I can write minus 2f. Now if I think over it, I can easily say that it's at object is at exactly center of curvature. So we very simplified way we know it. That's what is that? If an object is placed at center of curvature, its image also should be at center of curvature. And common sense says that size should be same. So the right answer would be 2.5. Let's switch on to the next question. Okay, so next question. If a person can see a doll at a far distance, he cannot read a newspaper in his hands. That means he is having a farsightedness. So the lens which is used to correct that is convex lens. So this is the right answer for it. Okay, let's check with next question. Okay, so this one I will hand it over to my colleague, that is Naeem sir. So the next questions, followed questions will be taken up by Naeem sir. Okay sir, please.
Thank you, Arun sir.
Yes.
Hello everyone, I am Naeem Akhtar, physics lecturer at Hanchinmani College, Dharwad. Okay, let us go to next question. In which of the following network of resistors the equivalent resistance between A and B is highest? So if you look at the diagrams here, in the first diagram, these two resistors are in series. Therefore, the equivalent resistance of these two will be 1200 and 1K is in parallel. If you solve it by using that parallel combination of resistances, we will get between A and B 545.45 ohm. Here in the second diagram, three parallel resistors are there. And we know that in parallel combination, the equivalent resistance will be equal to less than the least value. So that's why I have not solved it here. See here, it would be less than 200 ohm. Therefore, no need to solve that because they are asking for highest one. No, already we have got 545 here. Therefore, this one cannot be the answer. Now we have to check for third one. In third one, 1K ohm and 1K ohm, they are in parallel. Therefore, their equivalent resistance will be 500 ohm. And it is in series with 200 ohm. Therefore, we are going to get here the total resistance is equal to 700 ohm. So in the first case, it is 545.45 ohm. In the second case, it would be less than 200 ohm. In the third case, it would be 700 ohm. Therefore, the highest resistance is in third network, that is option A. Okay, let us go to next question. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇದೆ, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವರ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್, ಕನ್ನಡ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಪತ್ರಿಕೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 31. Okay, now see here in this case, 4 wires of same material, comma, the resistance will be minimum if the diameter and length of the wire respectively are. Okay, we know that the resistance is given by rho into L divided by area. Area is pi into r square. Instead of r square, I have taken it as diameter by 2, d by 2 whole square. Now rho is constant, pi is constant, I will take it as k. Therefore, r is equal to L by d square. Now they have given different values of L and d. Therefore, if I substitute d, that means d equal to d by 4 and 4L, I will get 64, k is rho by pi, which is a constant, 64k L divided by d square. Similarly, if I substitute the second option, then I will get 1 times, see here, 1 times k L by d square. In the third option, I will get 1 by 4k, that means 0.25. In the last option, I will get 1 by 8. Last option means I have to substitute d equal to 4d and length equal to 2l. Then I will get 1 by 8 kl by d square. If I check it, see here they are asking for minimum. Okay. See here it is multiplying factor is 64. Here it is 1. It is 1 by 4. It is 1 by 8. Therefore, correct option is option D. Okay. So next question. If the potential difference between the ends of the fixed resistor is halved ಅಂದ್ರೆ reduced to half, ಅರ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂತ meaning. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ if it is reduced to half, then see here the formula for power is V square by R. They are asking for what is the value of electric power. Okay. If you take P is equal to V square by R, and if resistance is fixed and the value of voltage is reduced to half, therefore new power P dash will be equal to, see here in the place of V square I have to write V by 2 whole square. That's why I will get V square by 4. That's why I will get V square by 4. See here, then R as it is. Therefore, what is this V square by R? It is P. Divided by 4 is extra. Therefore, power is reduced to 1/4 of initial value. Okay. So, correct answer is 1/4 of the original value. This is the correct answer. Okay. Next question. Okay, it is in Kannada. ನೋಡಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಅದು. How will be the reading in the ammeter A affected if another identical bulb Q is connected in parallel to P? The voltage in the mains maintained at constant value. Okay. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, P ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇತ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ Q ಅನ್ನ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? When only P was there, P bulb is there, let it be having resistance R. ಅದರ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ R ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಗೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಇದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತಿತ್ತು? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ I1 is equal to V by R. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, I is equal to V by R. In the second case, I2 is equal to, okay, in the second case along with R, another R is connected. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವಲ್ಲ. So overall we can say that these two resistors are in parallel now. Therefore, resistance becomes R by 2. What is equivalent resistance when two resistors R and R they are connected in parallel? It would be reduced to R by 2. Therefore, see here I2 is equal to V divided by R by 2. Therefore, option will be, see here answer will be 2 times V by R. See here V by R means I1. Therefore, it is equal to 2 times I1. Therefore, the correct answer is the reading in the ammeter will be double ಆಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. Okay, fine. Now next question ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ವರ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡುವ. ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆಸ್ ಶೋನ್. ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ electron and proton enter as shown. ಅದನ್ನು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಶೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. The electron and proton experience force. Okay, for this question we need Fleming's left hand rule. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. Fleming's left hand rule ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Okay, so in that Fleming's left hand rule, if I consider this mid finger, it represents current, then forefinger represents magnetic field, then thumb represents force. ಅದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ. Central finger represents current, forefinger represents magnetic field, thumb represents force. Now here electron is moving downward, therefore current must be upward. First case alli current must be upward. If I take current in upward direction and magnetic field towards right, or magnetic field towards right ide illi, magnetic field is towards right, then automatically force will be inward. See here current direction is opposite to direction of electron. Whenever there is direction should be opposite to motion of that negative charge. That's why current is upward. But here there is positive charge. Therefore, positive charge motion of the positive charge and current direction both will be same. Once again apply the Fleming's left hand rule. Current is upward, magnetic field is towards right, therefore force is inward. So in both the cases the particles will experience inward force. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾಗ್ತದೆ? both pointing into the plane of the paper. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದಾಗಲ್ಲ. Okay, so option A is correct answer. Next question, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, the strength of magnetic field inside a long current carrying straight solenoid. Okay, for your reference I have drawn the solenoid here. ಇಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ ನಾನು. ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, solenoid ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ I ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಈ ಬ್ಲೂ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ದಿ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿಯರ್ ಇಕ್ವಿಡಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಈಕ್ವಲಿ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ಡ್. ಈಕ್ವಲಿ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ಡ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಡಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್? ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ? ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ದಿ ಸೊಲೆನಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಎಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್, ಯಾವ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್, therefore it remains same at all the points. Okay, next question. So here, strength of magnetic field at a point in the space surrounding the magnet is measured by, ಯಾವ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡ್ರಾನ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದರ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲೂ ಕಲರ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ನಾನು. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಚೂಸನ್ 2 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ P1 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ P2. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಮೋರ್ ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮೋರ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. That's why we can say that number of lines crossing the given point represents the magnetic field. More the number of lines, more is the field. Less the number of fields, less is the field. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಡ್ ಬೈ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನರಹರಿ ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆ ಸರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಷಿಕೇಶ್ ಸರ್. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸರ್. ಸರ್, ರಿಷಿಕೇಶ್ ಸರ್.
Thank you, Naeem sir.
Okay.
Good evening, guys.
Now we'll start with the question number 1. HR sir. The Kannada question. Now we'll move on to English version.
Yes. Okay, sir. A small amount of calcium oxide is taken in beaker. Water is slowly added to this. Which of the following observations are correct about this activity? Right? Now you guys have to realize the answer is in this option itself. The option says beaker becomes hot because it is an endothermic reaction. But what we have understood is, if the beaker becomes hot, if the energy is released, it is an exothermic reaction and not a endothermic reaction. Now that they have mentioned is which of the following statements is incorrect. So the incorrect statement would be option B. Continue,
Move on
sir.
to next one. So the Kannada question. Now we move on to English version. The statements, 2 statements has been given over here. The first statement says a mixture of hydrogen and chlorine has been mixed with each other. There is a formation of hydrogen chloride. We know very well that whenever we combine hydrogen H2 plus Cl2, there is a formation of HCl. Fine, 2HCl. If I balance the reaction, this is nothing but a combination reaction. In a statement 2, they are telling it is an example for displacement reaction. So we can say that the statement 1 is true, the statement 2 is false. Option A is the correct one.
Moving on to the third question. Now this answer to this particular question is rather easy, right? If you look at the chemical equation itself, it says 2 sodium. Now you'll all agree, if there are 2 sodium on the left hand side, there should be 2 sodium on the right hand side as well. As well as, they have also asked you to refer as to what Yx would be. Now we already know, you already have 2 aluminiums, hence X would be 1 and Y would be 2, and the correct option would be option B.
Okay, we'll move on to our next one. Fine, where
Hindu.
sorry, we'll go to here. This is a Kannada version and this is a English, where they said that the students has a pH paper in a solution A and B. We need to focus on solution A and a B and observe that the pH paper turns blue. We know very well that blue means base. Fine, red or orange you can take, anything is fine. Red means acid. Fine, acid. They says that the beaker A and B, observe that the pH paper turns blue and orange respectively. Then what it means, it's supposed to be what? The option B, where A is the sodium carbonate. We know very well that what's the formula of sodium carbonate? What's the formula? Na2CO3. Sodium carbonate, when you dump into water, it produces what you call sodium NaH NaCO3 minus a base plus what you call OH minus a strong base. Fine. That's why option B is the right one, where we end up with a sodium carbonate, and B is what you call acetic acid.
Now moving on to the next question, which is rather straightforward. Plaster of Paris would be gypsum. That is nothing but calcium sulfate dihydrate.
The next question is also quite simple, very simple question. Which of the following is a neutral, a natural source of what you call oxalic acid that's supposed to be a what you call tomato. And we know very well that ant and as well as the nettle and turmeric, where we end up with here in these two we'll end up with a formic acid, and this is the tomato is the oxalic acid.
Now guys, the metals which are found both in free state as well as in combined state. Now the answer for this particular question would be option D, copper and silver, as everyone is aware that noble metals, they wouldn't want to react, right? And we have also seen that silver, when exposed to air for a longer period of time, there is a blackish shade. So silver ಒಳಗಂತೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ silver oxide ಅಂತೂ form ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So the correct answer would be copper and silver.
We'll move on to next one. It's very simple question. Which one of the following is a metal? We know very well that carbon is a non-metal. This is not a right one. Sodium is a soft metal. Fine. Nitrogen is once again a non-metal, and oxygen is also non-metal. Option is sodium. B is the right one.
Now moving on to the next question. Chemical X reacts with oxygen to form a compound with a high melting point. This compound is also soluble in water. The element X is likely to be. Now you guys, you have to be familiar with the fact that even though we have all these options, silicon, carbon inherently being non-metals, whenever they form oxides, their tendency is to be insoluble, right? Now what we have come up with here is iron and calcium. We all know rust is not soluble in water, so it can't be iron. So the obvious option would be calcium oxide. Now, sunna ant helteva adakke. It is obvious. The correct answer would be option D.
We'll move on to our next one. This is a pure organic chemistry question, where the structure formula of the ethyne, right? We know very well that. So to name any organic compound, we require the first thing, a root word, a shortcut RW, and suffix we want, and we want a prefix. Fine. The root word itself tells. Eth means how many carbon atoms are there? 2 carbon. Ethyne, they are telling. The suffix tells about it ends with the YNE, means there's supposed to be 3 bonds between carbon and carbon. And 1, here we have a H and H to balance the what you call valency. The name of this compound is ethyne, is carbon, triple bond carbon. Fine. Next one, we'll move on to a Kannada version. Here we need to focus on
Indo-Pix.
in case of the Kannada, they have ethene, they have make it. That's why we'll end up with the eth, carbon, double bond carbon, H and H over here. To make the valency get satisfied, one more H we need to write. So this answer is for Kannada medium, and this is for English medium students. Fine. We'll move on to the next one.
So the next question, ethane with the molecular formula C2H6. ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಈಸಿ ಅದ ಹುಡುಗರ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದ. ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್. Now we all know single bond andre covalent bond, right? So the number of single bonds present here would be 7 bonds. So the correct answer would be 7 covalent bonds.
Next one, the last one. So this is also pure organic chemistry question. Which of the following is not a straight chain hydrocarbon? The straight chain hydrocarbon. If I come to option A, this is quite simple. That's a straight chain hydrocarbon. There is no branches at all. All are linearly arranged. No issue at all. When I come to option B, here might be an issue over here. See, idu bhal mandi confuse madಕೊಂಡು side chain ಅನ್ಬಹುದು. It's not a side chain. This is also a linear one. This is not a branching here. This is also linear. In the case of this thing, option C, here we have a what you call quaternary carbon, tertiary carbon. Here we have a what you call branching. That's why option C is the right one, and D is also a straight chain hydrocarbon.
So the next questionnaire will be dealing with biology. So we'll be handing over the torch over to Pramod sir. He'll be dealing with biology. Thank you.
Hello everyone. So myself Pramod Hosur. I am dealing with the biology question paper. And before that, I want to announce you that the CBSE question paper will be dealt after 8:15 to 9:30. Right? Okay. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 8:15ರಿಂದ 9:15ವರೆಗೂ CBSE ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ನ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಈವನ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಈಗ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದು ಇವತ್ತು ರಾತ್ರಿವರೆಗೂ ಅಥವಾ ಅದು ಆಗದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೆಟ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆವರೆಗೂ ನಮಗೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ನಾವು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ questionnaires. So first of all we come across first question in the biology. See, which of the following statements are correct regarding transpiration? Transpiration ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಬಾಷ್ಪೀಕರಣ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಯಾವ ಹೇಳಿಕೆಗಳು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿವೆ ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಬಾಷ್ಪೀಕರಣದ ದರವು ಆ ಸಾಪೇಕ್ಷ ಆರ್ದ್ರತೆಗೆ ನೇರ ಅನುಪಾತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ತೇವಾಂಶ, ಈ ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ತೇವಾಂಶ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಬಾಷ್ಪೀಕರಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ what is that you can say rate of transpiration as well as relative humidity. When you consider that, both are directly proportional. No, actually they are not proportional. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಸಸ್ಯದ ತಾಪಮಾನ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಸ್ಯದ ತಾಪಮಾನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. Then closed stomata reduce the rate of transpiration. So yes, when the stomata is closed, then ultimately it will not transpire, because if there is a closing of the stomata, that means ಪತ್ರರಂಧ್ರ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಪತ್ರರಂಧ್ರಗಳು ಮುಚ್ಚಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಷ್ಪೀಕರಣ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Then next, it helps in a transportation of a water. Yes, it is correct. So ಹಂಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತರಗಳು ಸರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾವ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಒಂದನೇದ್ದು ತಪ್ಪಾಯ್ತು, this is wrong, this is correct, this is correct and this is correct. So ultimately ಈ ಮೂರು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇರುವುದು ಯಾವುದು? A, 2, 3, 4. So that is answer. So now we are coming to next question. Okay, next question is, in that case, in human beings, when the process of digestion is completed, the proteins, carbohydrates and fats are finally converted into. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವು ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ, ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ, ಪಚನ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತವೆ ಅಂತ. ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪಚನ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಪಚನ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ they will be converted into what? Glucose. And then fats will be, when it is digested, it will be converted into what? Fatty acid and glycerol. So that is, for this one, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಯಾಟಿ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಗ್ಲಿಸರಾಲ್ ಎರಡೂ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಗ್ಲುಕೋಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಗ್ಲುಕೋಸ್ ಅದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಗ್ಲುಕೋಸ್ ಅದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಫ್ಯಾಟಿ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಗ್ಲಿಸರಾಲ್. ಸೊ ಫ್ಯಾಟಿ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟಿ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ glycerol ಎರಡು ಅದೇ. So answer is D. Then next one. Okay, which part of the leaf given below will have the starch when exposed to the sunlight? ಈ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ when you see that, see A part and B part have been exposed to sunlight, whereas C has been covered with a slide. Means here the sunlight will not be penetrating. So in this part the food will not be formed, means synthesized. ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಸಿಂಥಸೈಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಥಸೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಥಸೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಎರಡು ಎ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಸೊ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿ, ಎ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ನೌ ಸಿ ದಟ್ plant growth regulators like auxins, gibberellins and cytokinins are produced in or at the what? ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತವೆ? ಆಕ್ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಗಿಬರ್ಲಿನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೈಟೋಕೈನಿನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾವೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ? ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುದಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶೂಟ್ ಟಿಪ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ರೂಟ್ ಟಿಪ್ ಎರಡು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾನಿಯನ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಿ ಟಿಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ರೂಟ್, ಟಿಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಶೂಟ್. ಸೊ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ what is that? B and C. That is answer is A. Then next comes So here, walking in a straight line and riding a bicycle are the activities which are possible due to a part of the brain. So choose the correct location and name of this part from the following options. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಹದ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಿದುಳಿನ ಯಾವ ಭಾಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸರಿಯಾದ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಆ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದೆ? ಹಿಮ್ಮೆದುಳು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಹೈಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್. ಸೊ ಸೆರೆಬೆಲಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೈಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್. ಸೊ ಎರಡು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೆರೆಬೆಲಮ್ ಅದ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ. ಈ ಸೆರೆಬೆಲಮ್ ಫೋರ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಈ ಸೆರೆಬೆಲಮ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಈ ಸೆರೆಬೆಲಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಹೈಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್. ಸೊ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಸರಿ, ನೌ ವಿ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ information is acquired at touch, pain, heat ಏನೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. then through the means at A, through at B, information travels as an electrical impulse, and in C, this impulse must be converted into chemical signals for onward transmission. ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಮುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇಂಪಲ್ಸಸ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ? ಮಿದುಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಟಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಸೊ ಆಗ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ನವ್ರು ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಿದುಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರುವುದಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಂಡ್ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಡೆಂಡ್ರೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ನರ್ವ್ ಎಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಎಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಜ್ಞೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಿದುಳಿಗೆ ತಡ್ತದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಮುಂದಿನ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಪವನ್ ನಾಗನ್ ಅವರು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, Pramod sir. My name is Pavan and I teach biology in Anchinmani College. So, ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನಮ್ಗಿರೋದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ 55ನೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಕಾಯಜ ಸಂತಾನೋತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಷನ್ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಯು ನೋ, ಬನಾನಾ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಎ ರೈಸೋಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಬೋದು. ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲೇಯರಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇಂದ ಕೂಡ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಮಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಗ್ರೋನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಷನ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಾಂಗ್. Sugarcane and rose, both of them can be grown by a process called as cutting. ನೀವು ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಷನ್ ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು, ಕಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅದನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಪ್ಸ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಟೆಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್. ಪಪಾಯ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೊಪಗೇಟೆಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್, ಇದು ತಪ್ಪು. ಮಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. whereas potato can be propagated by vegetative means. ಅಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬೈ ದ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬರ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಶುಗರ್ ಕೇನ್ ಕಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಟೊ ಕಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬನಾನಾ, ಆರೆಂಜ್, ಮಸ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬಿ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬಿ. ಇನ್ ಬೈನರಿ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್, the parent cell divides by the process of binary fission. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ಇರೋದು ಸಮಗಾತ್ರವಾಗಿ ಎರಡು ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಈ ತರ ಸೆಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಎರಡನೇ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎರಡು ಭಾಗವಾಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ಸ್. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಕೂಡ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಎರಡು ಭಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ಸ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಎ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. If the DNA copying during reproduction is not accurate, the resultant variations in the offspring, ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಏನ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯುನೋ DNA ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಂಡು ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋತ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾರ್ಮ್ಫುಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. may not necessarily ensure the survival of individual but are crucial for the process of evolution. ಯಾವಾಗ DNA ತನ್ನ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೋ, ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ DNA ಇಂದ ಯಾವ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಆ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬರೋ ಹೊಸ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳೇನಿದೆಯೋ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅನ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್. ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬಿ. ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್, ನೀಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ. ಅದೇನಾದ್ರು ಬೆನಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮುಂದೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೆರಾಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬಿ. A cross between two tall pea plant resulted in offspring having 50% of the dwarf plant. The gene combination of the parental plants must be. Option A ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ it is just like monohybrid cross that you have studied in your 10th standard. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರೋ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it will be 3:1, where 3 it will be tall and 1 it will be dwarf. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಟ್ರೋಸೈಗಸ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೋಮೋಸೈಗಸ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಎರಡು ಥರದ ಗ್ಯಾಮೀಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಥರದ ಗ್ಯಾಮೀಟ್ ಬರೋದು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದೆರಡು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬರೋದು 50% ಟಾಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಇದರಿಂದ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಟಾಲ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಒಂದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ 1:1 ಅಥವಾ 50% and 50%. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು ಕೂಡ ಅದೇನೆ, 50% ಆಫ್ ಡ್ವಾರ್ಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. If a round green seeded pea plant is crossed with wrinkled yellow seeded pea plant with this genotypes, the seeds will be produced in F1 generation. Genotype ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಮೋಸೈಗಸ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೋಮೋಸೈಗಸ್ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೋಮೋಸೈಗಸ್ ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೋಮೋಸೈಗಸ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇದರಿಂದ ಬರೋ ಗ್ಯಾಮೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಬರೋದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದೆರಡನ್ನು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರೋದು ಒಂದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್. ಅದೇ ತರ ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕಲರ್ಗೆ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಿರುವ ಒಂದು ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿರೋದವರು F1 ಜನರೇಷನ್. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು F1 ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ. And hence the answer should be round and yellow, that is option C. Next question. The maleness of the child is determined by. So child male or female ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, it is a sex chromosome. X ಇದ್ರೆ it will be female. Let us consider this as mother. XY ಇದ್ರೆ it will be male. Let us consider this as father. ಸೊ ಮದರ್ ಇಂದ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಬರೀ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್. ಫಾದರ್ ಇಂದ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 50% ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನ 50% ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ವೈ. ಸೊ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಇದೆರಡು ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್. ಇದೆರಡು ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ದ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಜರ್ಮ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್, ನಾಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ವೈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಝೈಗೋಟ್, ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ನಾಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದೆರಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಮೇಲ್ನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬಿ, ದ ವೈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಝೈಗೋಟ್. So dear students and parents, ಈಗ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ವೈರಿಗಳು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು. ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, CBSE ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ. 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ದು ಏನೇನು ಕ್ವೈರಿಗಳಿದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿದೆಯೋ, ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಫಾರ್, ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಫಾರ್ 5 minutes. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ CBSE ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕೇಳಿದೀರಾ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ದೆರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ CBSE ಸೆಷನ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಡ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Hello, welcome again. We have actually finished the state board question paper solving of our entrance examination. I hope you guys learned a lot with our question paper solving and explanation of what happened. Now we are on to the next session where we'll be solving the CBSE. Before I give it to my next presenter, I'll quickly take 2 minutes to talk about our institute and also the channel and what we have plans for it. Okay. Vidyapi Hanchinmani Institute started almost more than 3 decades ago with Hanchinmani classes. And in 2011, we came up with college. My father, Professor P.R. Hanchinmani, started the college. And in 2021, we have started an international school. We have almost around 1800 kids learning in PUC 1 and PUC 2. And the school, which is just 3-year-old, which is a CBSE affiliation, we had around 53 kids in first year. In third year, we have almost around more than 560 students. Okay, so we have got great response for the school and then the college. And now talking about the entrance exam, today we had an amazing and overwhelming response. We had more than around 3,500 students coming into and then writing exam in our 2 campuses. As we speak, on a Sunday evening, we have our faculty working on the results. Many of you are actually asking for the results. We are almost ready, and then we are checking, and then it will be live later in the day today or when you get up early in the morning. Okay, so it will be ready in very, very, very short time. Okay, and we understand how enthusiastic you are to know about your results. Okay, and then finally, let me talk quickly about our social media engagements. This is our YouTube channel. You're all on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, because this is the first of many such things that we are planning, all the way from question paper solving in the 10th and also talking about certain topics and then revision. So we have many, many, many ideas. So like our Instagram page, on our Facebook, we are also going to be doing some events there, and also on a YouTube live. Okay, so please subscribe. So finally, I will give it to our mathematics department head, Ramakrishna. So please come, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, friends. Today we'll continue our entrance exam paper solutions, key answers. Now one by one I will explain. Listen careful. First problem, sin power 6x plus cos power 6x plus 3 cos square a sin square a. Actually basically from trigonometry topic, but once you observe the standard formula, you all are know standard formula. Sorry, now note AQ plus BQ is equal to A plus B whole cube minus 3A square B square, 3AB into A plus B. 3AB into A plus B. (3AB into A plus B). So simple here, just apply A plus sin square A, B plus cos square A. Then we get A plus B whole cube. Students here observe, A plus sin square A plus cos square A. 1 cube minus 3 sin square A cos square A plus into sin square A plus cos square A. Here already plus 3 cos square A sin A. So sin square A whole cube plus cos sin square A plus cos square A whole cube minus 3 sin square A cos square A into sin square A plus cos square A. But in problem they are given already 3 sin square A cos square A. Now this value you know the answer 1. This value you know the answer 1. These two are cancelled. Then answer is 1 cube. It is equal to 1. So first problem answer is 1. Now next problem nodi. Cot square A plus 1 by cot square A equal to 2. Now we require cot square A plus 1 by cot square A. Simple, students, here square is there, here not there square. So just apply squaring on both sides. Is equal to 2 square. Now A plus B whole square formula. Cot square A plus 1 by cot square A plus 2 into cot A into 1 by cot A is equal to 4. Cot A cancel. Now we require cot square A plus 1 by cot square A plus to send LHS to RHS. Then 4 minus 2, answer is 2. Then second problem answer is 2. Okay. Now we'll continue third problem. Again based on trigonometry topic, 1 plus sin theta by 1 minus sin theta. Like this problem, shortcut I will explain. here plus ಇದೆ maximum answer middle plus. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ minus ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ minus we have first three options minus. So what is the correct answer? Plus. If you require solution, just apply rationalized method 1 plus sin theta by 1 minus sin theta. Denominator we have minus. So simple multiply and divide with 1 plus sin theta, 1 plus sin theta. Then numerator 1 plus sin theta into 1 plus sin theta, 1 plus sin theta whole square. Denominator 1 minus sin theta into 1 plus sin theta, 1 minus sin square theta. So now the entire equation 1 plus sin theta whole square by 1 minus sin square theta nothing but cos square theta. We all are know the square root cancel. 1 by cos separate, sin by cos. 1 by cos secant theta, sin by cos tan theta. Then option is D. Clear? So next problem. It is again based on sequence and series. In an AP, the third term is 16. So generally, nth term denoted by an. An formula a plus n minus 1 into d. But here third term required. Third term is 16. A3 a plus 2d is equal to 16. Fine. Next, one more condition we have. Seventh term exceed the fifth term by 12. What is the meaning? Seventh term exceed by fifth term plus 12. So here seventh term a plus 6d, fifth term a plus 4d plus 12. So here a cancel. 4d is in LHS side 6d minus 4d, 2d equal to 12, then d equal to 6. Just d value substitute here. A plus 2 into 6, 12 is equal to 16. Then what is the a value? 4. You required the first term. First term is 4. Then option is C is the correct answer. Clear? Now next problem. Which term of the AP 121, 117, 113 is its first negative term? So whatever may be, again I will find out. An less than 0 I will take. An nth term. Here first term nodi. First term is 121. What is the common difference? Second term minus first term, it is equal to minus 4. So now an, what is n formula? A plus 121 plus n minus 1 into d minus 4 less than 0. Then students 121 n into minus 4 minus 4n minus into minus plus 4 less than 0. Am I right? Now once observe 121 plus 4, 125 minus 4n less than 0. Now nodi, once you observe minus 4n less than minus 125. Generally if you remove minus, less than change to greater than. So here n greater than 125 by 4. If you change into mixed fraction, here 31 into 4, 124, remaining part is 1 by 4. So first negative term more than 31. More than 31 means next term. What is the next term? Here according to option 32. First negative term is 32. Clear? Okay, next problem. Same, it is based on AP. Sum of the n terms root 2, root 8, root 18, root 32. N into n plus 1 by 2. Common difference AP, an equal to 3n plus 2 is 3. Here just verification method you can solve. N plus 1 apply. 3 plus 2, 5. N plus 2 apply. 3 2 is 6 plus 2, 8. Common difference is 3. Same, first one, second one, third one. You apply AB formulas. Just option B is the correct answer. 3 also right. Next one. Again it is coordinate geometry based. We all are know the distance between 2 points. What is the distance between 2 points formula? X2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Now, if you feel this is the first point x1, y1, x2, y2. Suppose I will take first point A, second point B. So I will find out the distance between 2 points. Then according to formula 0 minus a cos square 25. Then we get a square cos square 25 plus a cos 5 minus 0. Again a square cos square 65. Then inside the root, once we observe a square common, then cos square 25 plus cos square 65. 65. Once we know cos 65 is nothing but sin 25 only, because 65 written as 90 minus 25, it is nothing but sin theta sin 25. This value nothing but 1. Then a square into 1, answer is A. The distance between 2 points, answer is A. Option D is the correct answer. Clear? Next one. The ratio is the line segment joining 2 points divided by x-axis. Fine. Now, just if you feel this is x-axis. Now, the point is P x1 y1. Second point is Q x2 y2. Fine. Just divide ratio, I will take m n. Your choice, m in place m1, m2. It is also correct, no problem. It is internal ratio. You know the internal ratio formula, mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. But the point is where it is on x-axis. On x-axis y coordinate 0. Then I will find out y coordinate m into y2 plus n into y1 by m plus n, it's equal to 0. Then m y2 plus n y1 is equal to 0, cross multiply. Then m y2 is equal to minus n y1. What do you require here? Ratio required. Ratio means m is to n. Then you can identify m by n. It is equal to minus y2 by y1. So according to option, minus y2 by y1. Sorry, here last node is minus y1 by y2. So answer is minus y1 by y2. Clear? Next one. Again based on distance between 2 points. 0, 0, point P minus 6, 8. OP distance between 2 points. Minus 6 whole square plus 8 minus 0 whole square. It is nothing but 36 plus 64. It is equal to 100. Then here very important, sometimes negative sign is there. Don't apply plus or minus, distance always positive. Then answer is 10, then option is B. Next, the radius of the circle whose area is equal to sum of the areas of the two circles. Radii 24 centimeters, 7 centimeters. Actually, I want one radius of a circle. I will take this as capital R. Then sum of the radii of two circles R1 plus R2. Two radius R1 and R2. So what is the radius formula? Radius R is there. Then area of the circle formula pi R square. Then here pi R1 square, pi R2 square. Generally pi take common, cancel. Then what is R1? 24 and 7. Squaring on both sides we get 625. Then radius is 25. So which is correct option? 25 centimeters. Fine. Next, if the equation of x square a minus ax plus c plus 1 equal to 0 have two distant roots. Simple ille distant roots bandu maximum answer greater than and less than base. Directly decide. Because what is the condition? Discriminant greater than 0. When the greater than 0, the roots are compulsory one root below, one root above. So here x a square, b value minus a, minus 4 greater than 0. Then here root is 1 is plus 2, 1 is minus 2. Then minus 2 below, 2 above. Option D is the correct answer. Next one. The value of which the equation ax square plus 2bx plus c has equal roots. Again based on same condition, discriminant equal to 0, b square equal to 4ac, then c value b square by 4a. Which is the correct option? So thank you. Next, my colleague continue next section.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I'll continue with the mathematics of 13th and 14th, all that. Continuation. Just see what are the questions are there. What is the largest number that divides 245 and 1025, leaving remainder 5 in each case? I hope you know it. You are all CBSE. The questions is not so easy for you all. The questions will always come from the difficult level. So I want the CBSE student must learn something beyond your textbook. So kindly go through the difficult questions from the net and you will get the answer. This is also there. So what is the remainder 5? So remove 245 minus 5. 1029 minus 5. So you got 240 and this is 1000. 9 minus 5 is 4. 1024. Now what I want now? Largest number that divides. Now find out the HCF of these two. You know how to find out the HCF. See, initial stage is not there in your textbook. Next stage is there. The HCF of 240 and 1024. You know it best. 240. Division algorithm, Euclid algorithm, you can use it. 240 and 1024. Go on dividing it. You will get the answer. Otherwise, another method is there. Factor method. The answer you are going to get in this is, if you want to continue, means continue this 240 how much? 24. It will come 3 za. Okay. Now 4 za it will come 4 2 za 8. So we'll check out 4 first. 4 0 za 0. 4 4 za 16. 4 2 za 8. 8 plus 1 9. So continue like this. The last non-zero remainder is the HCF. That answer is going to come how much? 16. This you have done in your regular class. Next, the HCF of two numbers is 27. Okay, he gave H is equal to how much? 27. And their LCM is 162. LCM of the two numbers is 162. Sir, one of the number is 54. You take this A as one of the number is how much? 54. Now my aim is to find out the next number. Do we have any result? Yes. What is that? Already you studied, you know it. Just write in your book. A into B is equal to H into L. Then what is this? B is equal to H how much? 27. L how much? 162 divided by A how much? 54. Sir, we have the tables, 27 tables. 27 ones are 27 twos are. 2 ones are 2 8s are 16. 2 ones are 2. Answer is 81. Is there? Yes. Go through the answers. Next, if a tree cast 18 feet shadow at the same time, a child of height 3 feet cast 2 feet. It's a 1 mark MCQ in your book. But number is changed, question paper pattern is changed. What is this? Sir, what is the reason here? Sir, at that time, the shadows are proportional. A tall building will have a shadow. A small building also have a shadow. But at a time, they are proportionate. That I am using it here. Sir, this is this one length. This is another length, PQ, and this is R. Sir, what is the shadow of AB? This is the shadow of AB. Then what is the shadow of PQ? Sir, this is, do we have any relation? Yes, ratios are equal. That is X upon 3 is equal to. Now cancel is 2 ones are, 2 nines are. Then 3 will come this side, 9 threes are 27. The reason is the relation, what is, if a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle, it divides the other two sides in the same proportion. That theory is used here. Okay, we'll go for the next one. A street light is fixed on a pole 6 meters above the ground. Same question. But pattern is different. These type of different patterns questions will come in your CBSE. A street light is fixed on a pole of 6 meters. This is street light. This is giving a light. You know, sun and street light. In the daytime sunlight you will get the shadow, and in the night time street light also from the street light you will get the shadow. When you are small child, you are played in this. Sir, shadows are there. Then again same thing. At that time, if two children are standing, if one is tall and one is short, their shadows are formed but not equal in size based on their heights. They're based on their heights, we have the ratios. Again, same thing. If a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle, it divides the other two sides in the same proportion. What is that? Sir, this is X. This is X plus 3. Go at it, you will get the ratio. 6 upon 1.5 is equal to X plus 3 upon 3. Then we will get X is equal to 9. This is based on AA criteria or Thales theorem, which you are already studied. Next, see, now it is one again. What a creative question in your CBSE. What is that? This is not in your textbook, but you have to learn it. See, a construction company want to connect two parks on opposite sides of the town. Next, surveyors have laid out a map as shown in the figure. Diagram is be given to you. Then the road can be built through the town or around the town through the point R. See, through the R only it should go. Next, intersecting at right angles. Here angle R is what? 90. Read the question very carefully. In mathematics, the only difficulty is what? Reading and understanding and what you have to find out. Then the line joining the park A to park B is parallel to the line joining CD. See, 8B is parallel to CD. Again, same thing. What is that? If two triangles are equiangular or two angles of the one triangle are equal to the corresponding two angles of another triangle, then they are proportional. I use the proportionality of these two. What is that? AB upon DC. AB upon DC is equal to RB upon and RC. Why? Based on the similar triangles. Now we got AB is equal to 7.5 into 1.4 divided by 1.2. We applied, what is that? Similar triangle theory. What is that? AA criteria. Then we got proportionality, we got AB value, we calculated 8.75. You may ask, there are two questions are there, sir. Where is the second question? So what is the distance between the parks and what is the distance of the park A to B? So one answer is 8.575. See now, smart thinking. One answer I got 8.75. See, anywhere 8.75 is there. First answer, no. Second answer, no. Third answer, no. Sir, third or fourth answer 8.75. Then I will not find out the second one. Why? There is no another answer only. Therefore, the answer is what? D it is. So use this type of smart tricks in your competitive examination. Kindly unnecessary, everything you know means don't try to find out. What is asked, that much only you should find out. Next. Now, this is already you know it. What is this? Surface areas and volumes. What are the formulas required for this? See, a medicine capsule already you know in your house. Medicines are there. Okay, maximum parents are having, or sometimes you are even will not tell to take medicines, but your medicines are there in your house. They are on this shape. They are very, very minute, and some also very small only it is. See, the areas, the dimensions are also very small, 0.5 centimeter, very negligible. So diameter is 0.5, radius is half of that. It is how much? 1/4 centimeter. And length of the capsule is 2 centimeter. It is not too big, it is very small. Okay, then we'll use the formula. What is the formula we are having for a hemisphere? 4/3 of pi r cube. 4/3 of pi r cube. And volume of the cylinder is pi r square h. Why, sir? Why you are using this? See, diagrams are there. Now, what is the diagram here in this? It is a cylinder. What is this? Hemisphere. What is this? Hemisphere. When you join two hemisphere, it becomes what? Sphere. So, I used the formula 4/3 pi r cube. And I used the formula volume of the cylinder is equal to pi r square h. Now, I'll substitute and I'll simplify. And I'll tell you, we want the calculation of the every student should be good. Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, especially fractions and decimals. I want you should be perfect when you are solving the similar triangles. Be careful, and even in what surface area and volumes, maximum working will come and calculator is not allowed. So you have to use your arithmetic ability. Addition, subtraction, multiplication is compulsory in your life. And in future, any competitive examination, electronic gadgets are not allowed. So this would be, so kindly learn this addition, subtraction and multiplication and squaring perfectly. The answer for this is, if you calculate this, you will get 0.36. Okay, next one. Then mason. Mason means a person, one who builds the houses. We call him as what in local language, Goundi. So what he is do? He is constructing the wall. Okay, sir. Wall contains what? Two things. One brick, one cement mortar. He will mix the sand, cement and water and he makes. See what he has given. With each of the size of the brick is given and it's assumed that 1/8 space is covered by mortar. Mortar means the mixture of sand and cement. See, if it is a wall, if I put a one brick here and one brick here, one brick here, one brick. In between these, I'll put a mortar. This is a mortar portion. Again, brick, brick, brick. I think you are seen in your nearby your house, or when your dad is constructing the house, you are visited, you know what is mortar. Now, the question is, 1/8 space is covered by mortar. Then what is left behind? In 1 minus 1/8, how much left? In 1 minus 1 upon 8, it becomes what? 7/8. 7/8 is our wall. 7/8 is what? Our wall. See, this is the important. Why you used 7/8, sir? Because in full part, if a roti is full, if 1/8 is removed, how much left? 7/8 is left. So therefore, the volume of the brick is equal to 7/8 of the volume of the wall. Now I want one brick. Sir, what is the dimension of one brick? Sir, dimension of the one brick is given, it is very small, 22.5 into, I hope you know, rectangle is always written length, breadth, height. See the order. Whenever they will tell 3, 4, 5 are the dimensions of the rectangle. 3 is the length, but 4 is the length, breadth and height. Order it is. We are telling in a order. So length, breadth and height. So volume of the one brick you find out. Volume of the this one wall you find out without the mortar. Then you will get all together answer if you divide it 11,200. Now what is the formula for length? This one volume of the into height. Next, the answer is 11,200. Next entry into this one. Two customers, Rahul and Nia, are visiting a particular shop in the same week. Okay. So this is comes under probability. I hope you know probability. Chance. Okay. Both are visiting. Both are visiting. How many days on? How many? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Only 5 days. So one person is 5 days, another person 5 days. How much? 5 5s are 25. The number of visits are 25. Next, sir, how many are there? What is the question is there? Both will not visit the same shop. So both will visit the shop and minus both will this one. So total how much? 25. So how much will be left? Both this one 20. How much? 5 days they may both together. Monday, Tuesday also, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 5 you remove it. In 25, 5 goes how much? 20. You got 4 by 5. The formula you know it. Probability of A is equal to N of A upon N of yes. Next with a die is thrown twice. Already you know head head, head tail, tail head, tail tail. Okay. Now what will come? I hope I'll tell you that at least means वंदर सला एक तो एक बार 5 आना है. एक बार आ सकता है, 2 बार आ सकता है. How many are there? 1 5, 2 5, 3 5, 4 5, 5 5, 6 5. All together it will become how much? How many left now? This will be this one 11 by 36. How many are there? 11 times at least are there. Now alpha plus beta, this already one of the sir has told. This is which is the wrong statement. This is the wrong, sir. Why? Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Then 5 years since the age of the man. Again we have to create the two equations. Man x, son y. Then it will be two hence and future. Then you will get the man's age is how much? X is equal to 40 years. Then the median of the data is in the ascending order. Middle two are the median. So sum of these 2 upon 2 is equal to 13. We got x is equal to 15. This is a simple question. So next, our one of the sir, physics sir, Arun sir is continuing with the physics. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Kadam sir. So now, dear students, let me start with the discussion of physics part of questions. It will be done by me as well as my colleague once I completed my part. So let's start with the first question. So as you can see here, for this, if you start solving it with a concept, it becomes too lengthy. I'll try to keep it very short and simple by trying to first explain you what's the concept behind it. So let's try to draw a concave mirror. Let's try to understand the concepts behind it. So here, what I'm saying is, let's try to draw a center of curvature and let's try to put some objects right in front of it, nearby to the center of curvature, and figure out what do we get. So let's say that I have kept an object which is like A, then you can easily know that I'm going to get an image of that which would be inverted and would be like this. If I assume that the focus is here, then if I go on placing objects behind it here, let's say I'm placing object B, then I would get an image here which would be smaller in size. Then if I place object C, just for your visualization I'm trying to do it, Don't try to scale it and ask me, sir, you're doing wrong. I know it, but for visualization, I'm giving you. So let's say that I have done this. Now, so here I said that I have focus. Now let's place the C object. Then I would get an image of that here, which would be very small. So to be more precise, I shouldn't be drawing it at F, because object at C would give me its image at F. So I'll try to draw somewhere here very close to F. So using this concept itself, I'm going to solve this one. So let's try to look into it. I hope you will be able to see it on the screen. I will be using a red color mark here. So again, I think it would not be so clear. So I'll better choose once again yellow itself and then explain this. So I'm going to take the mirror, concave mirror. Then I have a center of curvature, here focus. Now I'll try to draw M first. Let's try to look at M and N. So this is M, this is N. Let's try to find out where would be its image. Its image would be somewhere here. So image is somewhere here, and this I'm going to mark it as M dash, N dash. Next, let's look at OL. Let's look at OL. So OL I have somewhere here. So this is L, this is O. So if I try to find its image, as it is far away from C, I will get its image between C and F and very close to F. So I'd be drawing it here. So this would be L dash and O dash. Now since the object is lying between the two segments, so obviously I should have the image also lying between the two segments itself. So if I try to look at it, I would get this configuration here. Now if you closely observe, the Mn part is slightly smaller than this. That's why the magnification of Mn would be less than 1. Since it is negative, we have put magnitude, so that's why it is less than 1. So you can see the same thing in the case of OL also. This also comes out to be M of yellow in terms of magnitude is less than 1 because it is diminished, as we know from concept. And finally, if you try to figure it out, it's very clear that this is going to appear very smaller as it is very close to the focus. So my right answer would be option B. So this was quite a lengthy and tricky question. So let's try to mark the right option for this. Right, okay. So this B option is the right answer. Now let's move to the next question. Next question, what's given? A man is standing 10 meters in front of a large plane mirror. How far must he walk before he is 5 meters away from his mirror, image? So let's say that this is a plane mirror, and I'm going to place a man here who is actually at a certain distance given, that's 10 meters. Now he's saying that if he walks before the mirror, the distance between the image, his image and him, it should be how much? 5 meters. So let's draw that he has walked and he has arrived here. So he has to be at a certain distance. Let me just guess it like this. He himself and his image has to have a distance of 5 meters. Now if you apply a little bit of more common sense here, it's very clear that object distance and image distance should be equal from the plane mirror. That's why the distance here I would just divide it by 2 and say that he is 2.5 meters close to it. If you figure out this, they have asked how much he has to walk. He has to walk 7.5 meters to make his image 5 meters closer to himself. Let's move to the next question. So option B is right answer. Let's move to the next question. Now next, 10 millimeter long pin is placed vertically in front of a concave mirror. 5 millimeter long image of it is formed at 30 centimeters in front of the mirror. So they are saying that height of the object is 10 millimeter and image is 5 millimeter. Then the image distance is given, that is I would directly write minus 30 because we know it. Reason is very simple, that what is it? It's right in front of it. And also, if it is right in front of it, it should be inverted. We know it. That's why I'm going to put height of the image as negative. So we already know the formula from magnification. Magnification is minus V divided by U. So you substitute the values here, and along with that, if you try to know or go through it, you know that magnification is HI divided by HO is equal to minus V by U. So solving this one, you will get your answer for U to be minus 60 centimeters. And next I'm going to use the formula of concave mirror, focal length. So focal length formula 1 by F is equal to 1 by U plus 1 by V. So substituting the values, I would end up with the answer. That answer is minus 20 centimeters. So I would leave this work to you people, and I believe that you will do it very nicely. Yes, let's move to the next question. Next question is, student is to find a focal length of a concave mirror. Other one is lens. He will observe the image on the screen on same side as the object. That means they are saying you, if you are having image of an object which is placed here, if it is on same side, if this is object, then image is on same side. It is only possible in which one? Mirror, not impossible in the case of, because he is saying screen. So real images have to be taken on screen. So real image can be formed on this side. So the right answer for this one would be in case of 1. Okay, let's go to the next question. Next question. A person with myopic eye cannot see object beyond 1.4 meter. So we have to not solve this question. Basically, this is a very tricky question which makes you spend a lot of time. So don't spend a lot of time. You be alert. Myopic eye, directly you know that answer should be what? It should be a concave lens. Now you will say, sir, we are not so dumb. 2 options are having concave lens. Array, you can go through this. Focal length of concave lens is negative. Yes, true. Along with this, you also know if focal length is negative, then power also has to be negative. So now from here you have clearly guessed which should be the right answer. The right answer is option C. So concave lens has negative focal length, negative power. So from here onwards, I would hand over the remaining part to my colleague, Naeem sir. Yes, I call upon you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Hello everyone, I am Naeem Akhtar, physics lecturer at Hanchinmani College, Dharwad. Okay, let us go to next question. The question says, a wire of resistance R is cut into 5 equal parts, 5 equal pieces. These pieces are connected in parallel. Then what is the combination is having resistance of R dash, then what is R by R dash? We have to calculate that. See here, if total resistance is R, if that is cut into 5 parts, then we will be having R by 5 for each part. R by 5, R by 5, R by 5, so on. So, okay. Now, if these 5 resistors are connected in parallel, then equivalent resistance RP is equal to R by 5 whole divided by 5. See here, when equal resistors are connected in parallel, then equivalent resistance is value of resistance in each branch divided by number of times it is repeated. Here it is 5 times repeated. Therefore, this is equal to R by 25, and they have taken it as R dash. They have taken it as R dash. Okay, now we have to calculate R by R dash. Therefore, R divided by R dash is equal to R divided by R by 25. Therefore, it is equal to 25:1. Correct, no? R will be cancelled. Therefore, we are going to have 25:1. Therefore, answer option B is the correct answer. Fine. Let us go to next question. The current drawn by ammeter is maximum if. Okay. So here in this circuit, current drawn by this circuit will be maximum. Then the conditions are given. In which condition it is going to be maximum? Okay. Here we should be knowing one very important point. The very important point is if there is a resistor of resistance R and there is a switch. Okay, there is a switch here, and if switch is in parallel, very important discussion, if switch is in parallel and if switch is closed, then this resistance becomes ineffective because all the current will try to flow through this switch, which acts as a wire of very low resistance, or we can say resistance of switch will be equal to 0. So see here, always remember that when resistance is connected in parallel with a switch, if switch is closed, then switch allows the total current. Resistance becomes ineffective. What is the reason? Because this path is having very low resistance. We call it as short. We call it as short circuit or short. Fine. Now here, option A, see here, S1, S3, S5 are closed. For example here, S1, S3, S5, they are closed. These are closed. Then the current will flow through these paths. See here, current will flow like this. Because they are zero resistance paths, it behaves like a simple wire of very, very low resistance. These will become ineffective. And what about this? See here, these switches are not closed. Therefore, here total resistance will be 5 plus 4, 9 plus 6, 15 ohm. And this resistance is 0 ohm here. Therefore, total current will flow through this. Therefore, in first case, the current will be given by, see here, I is equal to V by R total. In the first case, if I choose first option, then I1 is equal to V divided by, see here it is zero resistance path, then there is one resistance R here, therefore it is V by R in first case. Okay, V by R in first case. Okay, in the second case, in the second option, S1, S2, S3 are closed. S1 is here, see here S1, S2 is here, okay, S2 is here, S3 are closed. See here, only 3 switches are closed, but remaining will be there. Therefore, these resistance, see here, these resistance will not become ineffective. See here, when the switch is in parallel and if it is closed, then that resistance become ineffective. In first case, 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, they become ineffective and this behaves like a short. Therefore, all the current flows through it. But in second option, only S1, see here, S1, S2 and S3 are closed. Therefore, current will be divided into these parts. Therefore, these two or these 3 resistance will be present and resistance will be greater than in second case. Okay, in option B, resistance will be, okay, I will take it as R2, greater than R. If resistance is greater than this case, then current I2 will be, obviously, see here resistance is more, no, therefore I2 will be less than I1. Similarly for option C and option D. So, what should we remember here? The thing is, when switch is connected in parallel and if it is closed, then the resistance becomes ineffective. Okay, fine. Now, that's why in the first case, this is the short path, therefore resistance has become ineffective, therefore current is V by R. But in second case, only switch S1, S2 and S3 are closed. S1, S2 and S3 are closed. These two paths will be present, therefore there will be some resistance which is greater than R. Okay, in option C also, resistance R3. If I take that, it would be greater than R. Option D, resistance R4 will be greater than R. Okay, obviously, current I1, here there will be current I2, which will be less than I1. Here, current I3, current I3 here, which will be less than I1. And current I4, which will be less than I1. Therefore, correct option is option A. Okay. Next question. In the given circuit, total resistance between X and Y. See here, X and Y points are marked here. We have to calculate total resistance between X and Y. Okay. See here, the X point is directly joined here. That means these 2 points are equipotential. So this is also X. Okay. Now, Y is directly connected here. Therefore, this Y and this point, they are equipotential. That means this is Y, this is also Y, equipotential, because they are directly connected with the help of wire. So if you look at the diagram, between X and Y, see here, between X and Y, there is 2 ohm. Between X and Y, there is 2 ohm. Again, between Y and X, 3 ohm. Between X and Y, again, there is 6 ohm. Therefore, applying the equivalent resistance formula for parallel combination, we get 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. That implies 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6. If you solve it, you will get Rp is equal to 1 ohm. Rp is equal to 1 ohm. So, option D is the correct answer. Option D is the correct answer. Fine. Now, let us go to next question. Okay. A cylindrical conductor of length L, uniform area cross section A, has resistance R. Okay. Next, another conductor of length 2.5 L and 0.5 R resistance, and the material is same. then what is the area of cross section of that second wire? Okay. For resistance, R is equal to rho L by A. They are asking for area, therefore I will write the equation for area. Area is equal to rho L by R. Same material is used, therefore rho remains constant. Rho means resistivity, it remains constant. Therefore, we can say that A is, see here, we can say that A is proportional to L by R. Therefore, A2 by A1 is equal to L2 by R2 whole divided by L1 by R1. This implies, okay, or I will write it here. This implies A2 by A1 is equal to, what is L2? 2.5 L divided by R2. R2 is 0.5 R whole divided by, okay, whole divided by L divided by R. Therefore, correct option is 5. Therefore, we can say that A2 is equal to 5 times A1. Okay, that is nothing but 5 times A. A1 is nothing but A. Okay, so correct option is option C. Okay, let us go to next question. The rectangular loop carrying current is situated near a long wire as shown. Diagram is already given here. Now, what is the force, or what is the total force on this rectangular loop, that we have to calculate. For that, we need Fleming's left hand rule. According to that, central finger represents current, forefinger represents magnetic field, thumb represents force. So, if we apply that rule here, see here, it produces magnetic field. In this magnetic field, rectangular loop is present. Then, at this point, or we can say that at these points, the magnetic field is inward. See here, apply the rule, magnetic field is inward. Okay, here also magnetic field is inward. But this portion, for example, A, B, C and D, the portion AB is nearer to the wire which is producing magnetic field. Therefore, it will experience more force, this will experience less force. And also we know that parallel direction or parallel currents, that means currents in same direction, there will be attraction between the wires. For currents in opposite direction, there will be repulsion. But we know that this will be more, this force is more, F1, this is F2, this force will be more than that F2. Therefore, overall there will be attraction towards the wire. Therefore, answer is, it will move towards the wire. Okay. Next question. An electric current passes through straight wire. If magnetic compasses are placed at the points X and Y shown, then what happens? See here, we know that whenever current is straight, the magnetic field is encircled, which is given by a right hand thumb rule. So if I consider right hand, thumb in the direction of current, magnetic field is encircled. That means at this point, magnetic field is outward. Here, magnetic field is inward. Therefore, magnetic directions are opposite here. At X, it is outward. At Y, it is inward. Therefore, magnetic compasses will be deflected in opposite directions. Therefore, answer is, the needles will deflect in opposite directions. I hope you got it. See here, magnetic field is inward, here magnetic field is outward. As a result, the magnetic needles will be deflected in opposite directions. Okay, next one. The shape of the magnetic field lines produced by a solenoid and straight conductor. Okay, for your reference, I have drawn the diagram here. Here it is the solenoid carrying current I. Then magnetic field inside the solenoid, which is represented by blue colored lines, they are equidistant and parallel. That means the magnetic field is along the straight lines here. For straight conductor carrying current, we have to apply, for example, this is the conductor carrying current in upward direction, then magnetic field is encircling it. Encircled magnetic field will be there. So magnetic field produced by straight current is encircled, magnetic field produced by encircled current is straight. So if current is encircled, magnetic field is straight. If current is straight, magnetic field is encircled. Therefore, answer is straight and circular. See here, straight. For example, see here, for solenoid it is straight. For straight conductor, it is circular. Okay. Next chemistry part will be continued by our chemistry experts, Narahari Deshpande sir and Rishikesh sir. Please sir.
Thank you, Naeem sir, for your insight into physics. Now we'll begin with chemistry. Good evening, guys. So to begin with, myself, Dr. Rishikesh Revankar, joining me would be Dr. Naredi Deshpande. Welcome, sir. We'll start off with chemistry sessions. Sir, would you like to do the honors?
Yes, fine. We'll start with the question number 1. The question is very simple question based on what you call reactions. Fine. The products obtained when a lead nitrate heated in a seal tube or a boiling tube. What is the formula of lead nitrate first of all? Fine. Pb, lead nitrate. NO3 2 times. Fine. Lead nitrate, when it heated, it will produce what you call PbO, lead oxide, plus NO2, nitrogen dioxide, plus O2. Fine. The right answer for this one is option A.
Now, as the question itself states, this is an example for displacement question, reaction. Right? So you say, it says iron nail, when it's allowed to interact with copper sulfate solution. All it ends up doing, it displaces copper. So whatever reddish brown coating that you observe on nail is nothing but the copper that gets deposited.
I'll switch over to the next one. So here the question is once again the same based on a reaction 1. Here what they have asked, what happens when calcium oxide reacts with water, it produces calcium hydroxide. The question itself explains the type of the reaction is what. So two things combine with each other and produce a single product. We call it as a what? Combination reaction. A simple question. We'll move on to our next one.
Select a pair of natural indicators from the following. Now it should be obvious. The answer is turmeric and litmus. We are all familiar with turmeric. The range of indicator, if you are working with turmeric, which is a natural product, is between 7.4 to 8.6. Beyond 8.6, it shows red color. Below 7.4, it usually shows yellow color. And litmus is usually derived from lichens. Hence, the answers would be turmeric and litmus.
We move on to the next one. This question is based on what happens when a solution of an acid is mixed with a solution of a base. The straightforward question, acid-base question. We know very well that whenever we react acid with a base, it's a neutralization reaction. Hence, in the option, a salt formation takes place. The salt formation always takes place when acid reacts with a base. Hence, we need to consider this statement as a right one. The next one, the temperature of the solution will increase. Definitely, the usually acid-base reactions are neutralization as well as exothermic reactions. That's why the temperature of the solution is supposed to increase. That's why which one is the right one here? Fine. The first and fourth one. Option
Yes,
D. We'll move on to the next one.
Two salts, X and Y, are dissolved in water separately. When phenolphthalein, which happens to be an indicator, is added to these two solutions, solution X turns pink and solution Y does not show any change in color. But the one thing that we know about phenolphthalein is pink in basic medium and is colorless in acidic medium. So obviously, just looking at the options, you'll come to realize the answer should be sodium bicarbonate, because sodium bicarbonate is a mild base. Apart from that, NH4Cl is a salt that is derived from a strong acid, that being HCl.
Okay. We'll move on to the next one. So here, the Latin name of the royal water. It's very, very important. Royal water, we call it as aquaresia. Fine. It's a direct question. Aquaresia is X. It is a mixture of Y and Z. The aquaresia is a solution. It's a combination of two acids. The one is HCl and another one is HNO3, nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. The only thing is, what is the combination? The ratio they are supposed to ask. See here. HCl ratio, it's supposed to be what you call 3 and 1 ratio of HNO3. Fine, nitric acid. The right answer for this one is option B, aquaresia, HNO3 and HCl. But the ratio they have asked, that's why the B is not a right one, because the ratio is 3:1. That's why we need to pick a right one here. The aquaresia, the HCl 3 ratio and HNO3 is a 1 ratio. You'll never confuse adragbodu. Make it clear. We'll move on to the next one.
Now look at it, guys. Sodium is a strongly electropositive metal. And what do we know about electropositive metals? It has one very unique property, and that is the ability to displace hydrogen, right? To evolve hydrogen. If you look at all the other species, alcohol has one polarizable hydrogen. Sulfuric acid again has a polarizable hydrogen, and water as well. So all of these three entities tend to have one polarizable hydrogen. Hence, the answer would be all of this.
We move on to the next thing. So it's a bit lengthier question. Fine. 2 ml each of concentrated HCl and HNO3 and mixed in a mixed of a concentrated HCl and concentrated HNO3 in a ratio of 3:1. What's the meaning of 3:1? Means 3 ratio of HCl and 1 ratio of what do you call HNO3. Fine. It's nothing but royal water. What's the property of the royal water? It only dissolves a noble metals. Fine. Like platinum as well as a gold. But what they have asked, they have taken 3 test tubes. In test tube 1, they only placed what you call HCl. In test tube 2, they have taken only HNO3, and the third test tube they mixed these two things. Fine. This is nothing but this is a royal water. It's a combination of HNO3, 3:1 ratio. So this solution can dissolve. It can dissolve your platinum as well as a AU gold, but these two things never able to dissolve the two metals. That's why the option B is the right one.
Now, as the name itself suggests, how would you name the following compound? Now, everybody is aware of the fact that organic compounds tend to have a prefix and a suffix. Now, the prefix would be the number of carbons present, that would be 6, and the suffix would be the functional group present. The functional group in this case would be an alkene, right? A triple bond. Now, we all know triple bond, the suffix tends to be "-ine". And we are also aware that no nomenclature is complete without appropriate numbering. Hence, the lowest possible number is always given to the carbon, which is participant of functional group. Hence, the name would be, number of carbons would be 6, position of functional group would be 1, and the functional group being "-ine". The correct answer would be hex-1-ines.
Move on to next one. See, the compound X and Y have the same molecular formula. What it means, same molecular formula? The compounds having the same molecular formula means they are isomers. Iso means same, mer means units. The compounds having the same molecular formula but differ in the what you call functional group and structural formula. They are called functional as well as the structural isomers. See, look at the formula over here. This formula suits for what you call carboxylic acid as well as esters. Fine. Carboxylic acid general formula RCOOH and ester RCOOR dash. That's why the right answer for this one is option A, the carboxylic acid and ester. Fine.
Moving on, which of the following properties is not true regarding organic compounds? Now, what you guys have to understand is most of the chemical compounds are either classified on the basis of the bonds that they exhibit. So, either they are ionic compounds or they are covalent compounds. Now, let us just look at common salt, table salt, right? NaCl. The melting point of NaCl is around 800 degrees Celsius. What does it tell you? It tells you ionic compounds usually tend to have very high melting points, right? Now, looking at the option, the answer is evident. Melting points, on the contrary, organic compounds usually tend to have lower melting and boiling points. So, the statement would be, which one would be not true? And the correct answer would be option D.
So, next one.
Yes, sir, we are done.
So, we end up with the what you call chemistry section. Now, we'll hand over to biology. Pramod sir, please do come.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Hello, once again. I am Pramod Hosur. I am working in a Hanchimani College as a biology lecturer, and now I am going to deal with some of the questions in a biology section. So now we'll continue. The first question in this biology. So here, in a scenario, where a high intensity sprinter suddenly experiences muscle cramps which change in the metabolic fate of a pyruvate is most likely responsible and under what condition? See, when the person is running faster, ultimately what happens, the person will have that muscle catch, or you can say the muscle will be tired. So what may be the reason to have the tiredness of the muscle, or means fatigueness we can call. That is called as fatigueness, and that fatigueness is mainly due to what? That is actually in the initial stage, the aerobic respiration occurs in the muscle, and later on, when it is continuous, means if there is a rigorous, what you can say, contraction of the muscles, that leads to what? The anaerobic respiration, means oxygen will be exhausted, then later it will continue with the anaerobic respiration. Due to that anaerobic respiration, what happens here? The glycogen will be converted into what? Lactic acid, and that lactic acid causes fatigueness of the muscles. So in that case, so I hope you got a answer here. So pyruvate converts to lactic acid under anaerobic condition. So this is the answer for this question. Is that clear? So this is simple method, we can understand it. The next question we come across, that another one. Why oxygen evolved during a photosynthesis is considered a waste product? Yes. See, in a photosynthesis, what happens here? The CO2, that is actually 6 CO2, right? And then plus H2O, that is 12 H2O, that is current to what? C6H12O6 plus O2, that is certain number of O2, they will be eliminated. So ultimately, during this process, oxygen is not at all utilized here. It will be eliminated as that unwanted content, that is waste product. In that case, when you come across that, so which one is accepted here? It does not participate in a synthesis of glucose, so that it is evolved during this process. So answer is C. The next question, when you come across this one, so here consider the following reaction occurring in the human digestive system. See, which of the following statements correctly identifies enzyme X and enzyme Y and their respective sites of action? See, this is a protein acted by the enzyme X, converted into what? Polypeptide, and again that polypeptide is converted into amino acid with the help of an enzyme called as enzyme Y. So now we have to find out which enzyme and where it is acting on. Proteins are broken down with the help of enzyme X. So when you have to see that, actually proteins are digested in the stomach as well as in the intestine, not in the mouth. So ultimately, what happens here? Enzyme X is amylase. No, protein digestion occurs with the help of protease enzymes, not with the amylase enzyme. Amylase is meant for carbo digestion. Then enzyme X is a lipase. Okay, lipase is an enzyme which is digesting lipid, not any other content. Then enzyme X is pepsin. Okay, we have to consider pepsin is an enzyme which is protein digesting enzyme in the stomach. Yes, pepsin is present in the stomach. Enzyme Y is a trypsin. Okay, trypsin is also enzyme which is digesting polypeptides into amino acids and in the small intestine. Yes, it is accepted answer. So answer is C. Simple. I hope it is understood now. Proteins are converted into polypeptides with the help of pepsin. Polypeptides have been converted into amino acids with the help of trypsin. That is in the stomach. Here it is in the small intestine. Now we are coming to the next question. So here, in a neural reflex arc involving a withdrawal of a hand from hot object, which sequence correctly traces the flow of information? Simple one. Whenever we touch a hot metal, when you touch it, ultimately you will remove the hand. So that is called as reflex action. That reflex action is having a path. The path of the reflex action is called as reflex arc. That reflex arc is containing what? First of all, the touch receptors are there. Those receptors are sending impulses through what? Sensory nerve. Then it is sending to the central nervous system, that is the spinal cord. From the spinal cord, it is sending that impulses through motor nerves. Those motor nerves are acting on effector, where the muscles are getting contracted, so that immediately after the touch, it will be removed. So ultimately, when you go through that, so first the receptor should come, 1, 2, 3. So effector should not come here. Then receptor, then next sensor, that is sensory nerve should come here. So receptor, sensory neuron. Sensory neuron is sending that impulse to what? Spinal cord, that is central nervous system, spinal cord to what? Motor neuron. that is sending to the motor neuron. That motor neuron acts on effector where the muscles are contracted. So ultimately effector here. So answer is receptor, sensor neuron, spinal cord, motor neuron, and effector. Answer is B. The next question that is we have to see here. A patient presents with the symptoms including difficulty in maintaining balance, uncoordinated the movements and tremors. Which part of the brain is most likely affected? So what happens here? When the person is having a problem of the maintaining balance. So body balance is mainly maintained by what? Hindbrain part. In that hindbrain part, the cerebellum is present. In the hindbrain, cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata are there. The cerebellum is playing an important role in maintaining a muscular coordination as well as body balance. So that ultimately we can say that cerebellum, the answer is C here. So that is the answer for this one. Next one that we have to see here. Okay, this question, of course, just it has been replaced. So now we have to see that identify the parts labeled as A, B, C in the diagram here. So in this part, what happens here? What is A? What is B? What is C? So A should be, this is a protective coating, that is protective shell of the brain, that is called as a cranium, right? Then next comes B. B is, that is called as the cerebellum, and then C is a folded, the cortex, or you can say the upper part, that is called as the cerebrum. So large brain, small brain, and this is a protective covering of the brain, that is cranium, then cerebellum and cerebrum. So cranium, that is a, okay, cranium, where is that exactly? Okay, cranium is there, here also. Then next comes cerebellum. B is the cerebellum and C is cerebrum. So answer should be, what is that? This one. So here, this is the answer for this question. So next, some questions are there. They will be discussed by our another professor, Professor Pavan Nag. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Pram. Hello, everybody. My name is Pavan and I work as faculty in biology department in Anchinmani College. So let us continue with question number 16. A student removes the apical bud of a plant and lateral branches begin to grow more rapidly. Which hormone or influences has been reduced due to this? If you consider a plant, a growing tip of the plant produces a plant growth regulator called as auxin. Suppose if there is a leaf here and at the base of the leaf there is a bud which is called as axillary bud. Due to the influence of auxin, the lateral bud do not grow. So what question says is, a student removes the apical bud. So when a person removes an apical bud, obviously the concentration of auxin it is going to reduce. Once if the concentration of auxin reduces, its influence on the apical bud reduces and hence apical bud starts growing. So begins to grow more. So what is asked here is, which hormone's influence has been reduced due to this? It is because of auxin since the apical bud is removed. And hence the answer should be C. Next question. Which of the following processes will likely to be disturbed if the ovule of the flower is removed? You know, flower has a female reproductive structure which is called as pistil, and pistil has something called as ovary, and inside ovary there is a structure which is called as ovule. Now, you might be very well aware of this, that ovule after fertilization develops into seed, whereas the solen base, which is called as ovary develops into fruit. So question says, which of the following process is likely to be disturbed because of ovule? So if ovule is not present, or if this is removed for some reason, or if it becomes non-functional, then the seed is not produced, and hence the answer should be C. 57th question. Two pea plants, one with round green seeds, other with wrinkled yellow seeds, produces F1 progeny that have round and yellow. As you know, in F1 progeny, it will be the dominant features which is going to express. So when you cross that F1 plant, what are the characters which is produced which is Neve. When you say Neve, it means non-parental, which means it is non-parental character. So as you can clearly see from the question itself, parental characters are round and green and wrinkled and yellow. So all that you have to remove is anything which is round and green and wrinkled and yellow. Plus, as you know, this is a dihybrid cross which was done by Mendel. In F2 generation, you are going to get the ratio of 9:3:3:1, where 3 of them it will be round and yellow, other 3 it will be wrinkled and green. So it should be round and yellow, that is this one, and wrinkled and green, this one. So 1 and 4 should be the answer. So answer should be B. Next question. Which of the following is an example for genetic variation? One person has a scar, but his friend doesn't. So scar, it is an acquired character. It is not an inherited character. And hence this cannot be correct answer, because when you say genetic variation, it is an inherited character. One person is older than the other. It is purely because of age. It is nothing to do with genetic variation. So this will be wrong. So option C says Pawan eats meat whereas Narahari is vegetarian. So this is purely, it is the practice. It is about the lifestyle. It has got nothing to do with genetic variation. Whereas two children of a same parent having different eye color, it is purely because of the DNA or the genetics. So answer should be D. Next question. Organisms depend on hormones as well as electric impulse for transmission of signals from brain to the rest of the body. What can be likely advantage of hormones over electric impulse? You may be aware from your 10th standard textbook that neurons has certain disadvantage. What are those disadvantages? Is it cannot reach every cell in our body, and it cannot transmit the electric impulse in a continuous manner. And hence, to overcome that with that disadvantage, our body has something called as endocrine system or hormones, which is going to reach every cell in our body. And hence, answer should be B. That is, it is secreted by stimulated cells and it can reach every cells in our body once if it is mixed with blood. So this is the last question. How is food transported from phloem to the tissue according to the plant's need? So option A says food is transported along with the water in the plant. It cannot be correct because water is transported by xylem, whereas food is transported by phloem. So wrong. Food is transported in only one direction. Food is transported both from leaf to root as well as root to leaf. So this cannot be correct answer. Food is transported from region with lower concentration. This cannot be correct answer because food is transported from leaf, which is the site for production of food, and there the concentration it will be high. So this cannot be correct answer. Food is transported from the region where it is produced, which is nothing but leaf, to other part of the plant which is non-green in color. So answer should be C. So with this we complete your both state as well as CBSE question paper solving. I hope it was very helpful. We have certain announcement to be made. Number one, as we can see from your comment section, most of you are asking when the result is available. Result will be announced already for CBSE, and for state it will be announced by 10 p.m. today. So I'm repeating, for CBSE it will be announced, CBSE it is already being announced, and for state it will be announced shortly. And many of you are asking which is the website that has result. So you can see the website names here. If you can zoom it into this, the website name is www.anchinmanicollege.com. So you can visit that, and please engage with our YouTube channel for many more such academic supports for you. I would like to welcome all my colleagues who are the brand ambassadors for our college, who really makes a lot of difference in our teaching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you and best of
Good
luck
luck.
for your future. All the best for the annual exam. Oh, we'll support you from this team.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
He's very nice.